Here's the deal. The Trump administration, with input from Elon Musk's Department of Government Efficiency, is planning to slash roughly 7,000 jobs from the Social Security Administration's workforce. This comes at a time when staffing is already at historic lows, and the agency's aging computer systems are plagued by outages. New anti-fraud measures are also causing confusion, with thousands of immigrants mistakenly listed as dead in Social Security databases, cutting off their benefits. The White House claims these individuals are on terror watch lists or have criminal records, but critics argue it's a pretext for broader immigration enforcement. Biden also took aim at Musk directly, accusing him of pushing a reckless agenda. He referenced Musk's tech startup philosophy of moving fast and breaking things, saying it's now being applied to critical government services, and he's not alone in sounding the alarm. Democrats like Congresswoman Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez and Senator Bernie Sanders have been hammering Trump on this issue, rallying huge crowds on the campaign trail. AOC in particular didn't hold back, calling Trump a criminal guilty of 34 felony counts of fraud and liable for sexual abuse. She's landing punches with a style and energy that Biden simply can't match. But here's an interesting wrinkle. While Biden and AOC are both attacking Trump, their approaches highlight a generational divide in the Democratic Party. Biden, at 82, is defending Social Security with the same talking points he's used for decades. AOC, at 35, is bringing a fiery, modern edge that's resonating with younger voters. And then there's Bernie Sanders, who's roughly Biden's age but still manages to connect with the progressive base in a way Biden can't. As Allen points out, you can be older and still make arguments that feel fresh. Biden just isn't doing that. Now let's zoom in on the fraud claims. Trump and Musk have repeatedly said, without evidence, that Social Security is riddled with fraud. They point to government databases listing 4.7 million Social Security numbers for people aged 100 to 109, suggesting many are fake. Musk even called Social Security the biggest Ponzi scheme of all time. Meanwhile, Trump's Commerce Secretary Howard Lutton downplayed the impact of missed payments, saying his 94-year-old mother-in-law wouldn't complain if her check was late. That's not exactly reassuring to the 70 million Americans relying on these benefits. On top of that, the Department of Justice is pushing for access to sensitive personal data held by the Social Security Administration, including employment history, pay, and home addresses. They say it's for immigration enforcement, but a federal judge in Baltimore is skeptical. She's already issued a restraining order blocking access, but it expires soon and the DOJ keeps pushing. The judge even called out the agency's acting commissioner for skipping a hearing to explain their plans. Talk about dodging accountability. So, where do we go from here? Biden's speech has reignited the debate over his role in the Democratic Party. He's determined to stay in the fight, but with every misstep, he risks alienating more of his base. Meanwhile, the Social Security cuts and fraud claims are shaping up to be a major battleground. For millions of Americans, especially those over 65 who rely on Social Security for more than half their income, this isn't just politics, it's their lifeline. The bigger question is whether Democrats can unite against Trump's agenda. AOC and Sanders are drawing crowds and raising millions. AOC alone pulled in $9.6 million in the first quarter, but some party insiders worry the energy is shifting too far left, repeating mistakes from 2017. As Thompson and Allen point out, the party's future may hinge on finding a balance between progressive fire and broader appeal. All right, that's the breakdown, folks. What do you think? Is Biden helping or hurting the Democratic cause? And are Trump and Musk's Social Security plans a disaster waiting to happen? Drop your thoughts in the comments and don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell for more news you need to know. We'll catch you in the next one. Stay informed, stay engaged, and we'll see you soon. Hey everyone, buckle up because we're diving into a political firestorm that's got everyone talking. Former President Joe Biden just stepped back into the spotlight with his first major speech since leaving the White House, and he's coming out swinging, calling the Trump administration's moves destructive and breathtakingly damaging in just under 100 days. But here's the kicker. While Biden's trying to reclaim his voice, some Democrats are saying, please, Joe, just step back. And then there's the Social Security bombshell. massive cuts, fraud claims, and a plan that critics are calling a smash and crash. Is this a policy disaster in the making, or is it all just political theater? Let's break it all down in today's video. Hit that subscribe button, smash the like, and let's get into it. Former President Joe Biden is back, folks, and he's not holding back. In his first major public speech since leaving office on January 20th, Biden took the stage to deliver a blistering critique of the current administration. He's accusing President Trump and his team of causing unprecedented damage in fewer than 100 days. Biden didn't mince words, saying, quote, "This new administration has made so many and so much damage and so much destruction. It's kind of breathtaking. It could happen that soon." He even borrowed a line from the tech world, accusing Trump's team of following the mantra, "Move fast, break things." And according to Biden, they're breaking a lot. Now, why is Biden stepping up now? Well, sources close to the former president say he's determined to stay relevant. He believes he's still the de facto leader of the Democratic Party, despite what some in his party think. Biden's been reaching out to former aides and Democratic insiders, signaling he wants his voice heard loud and clear. But here's where it gets messy. Not everyone's thrilled about his comeback tour. One longtime supporter and donor told CNN, quote, "No thank God," when asked about hearing from Biden again. Ouch. Many Democrats feel Biden made a colossal mistake by running for re-election at 80 years old, and they're ready to move on. Political insiders like Alex Thompson, a national political correspondent for Axios and author of the upcoming book Original Sin, President Biden's Decline, Its Cover-Up, and His Disastrous Choice to Run Again, say this is classic Biden. Thompson compares him to a shark that has to keep swimming to survive. Biden's not ready to fade into the background, even if some in his party wish he would. And Jonathan Allen, NBC News senior political reporter and co-author of Fight, Inside the Wildest Battle for the White House, agrees. Allen says Biden's convinced he could have beaten Trump in 2024 and is determined to burnish his legacy, even if it means clashing with his party's priorities. So, what did Biden actually say in this big speech? Well, he went after Trump hard, focusing on policy moves like Social Security cuts and what he calls reckless governance. But here's where things got awkward. Biden stumbled right out of the gate with a comment that raised eyebrows. He referenced his childhood in Scranton, saying, quote, "I never saw hardly any black people in Scranton at the time when I was in fourth grade. And I remember seeing kids going by, at the time called colored kids, on a bus going by." Yeah, you heard that right. He used the term colored kids, a phrase that's not just outdated, but wildly inappropriate in 2025. This moment sparked immediate backlash. Critics, including Allen, pointed out that it places Biden in a completely different generation, one that's out of touch with today's discourse. Thompson reminded us this isn't the first time Biden's made these kinds of gaffes. Back in the 2019 primaries, he talked about playing a record player to help black kids when asked about reparations for descendants of slaves. These moments highlight what many see as Biden's biggest weakness. He's frozen in time, unable to connect with younger voters or the modern Democratic base. And the reaction from Democrats? Brutal. Allen and his co-author Amy Parnes found in their reporting for Fight that most Democrats want Biden to step aside. They don't see him as the leader of their party anymore. Some still respect his legacy, but they're begging him to let new voices take the stage. Yet Biden's not listening. He's out there, swinging, trying to land punches on Trump. The problem? Many say he's not landing them effectively. Now let's talk about the meat of Biden's speech: Social Security. Biden accused the Trump administration of taking a hatchet to the Social Security Administration, an agency that delivers monthly benefits to 73 million Americans. He called their staffing cuts destructive and warned that the system could collapse under what he dubbed the Musk and Trump smash and crash plan. Strong words, but what's actually happening?